Yeah, well, I noticed a couple of days ago that everybody seemed like a little bit off, a little out of it. And I thought it was just me, because my puppy is now 6 or 7 weeks old, and we're actually finally through the phase of all her um, vacunas, of her vaccines and her booster. She's still not able, we're not able to take her out into the street where I live, and it's kind of a rough street. It's a dirt road still, and there was a big dog fight on it about a few days ago that really made me rethink a whole lot of things about my life, where I'm living. I began to look for a place to rent in Centro, which I might actually do. Um, it wasn't really a problem when I first moved here. It was rough last year too, but my small dog, she's like a little toughie, and I carry a big stick and I walk. And there are a lot of loose dogs here. I live in a part of Mexico, in Ensenada, where it's not the same as if you lived in Centro, which is the main street and everything's paved and most dogs are on leash, and people are like hip to the fact that, we want to take care of our dogs, get them spayed and blah, blah, blah. And this is a little bit more countrified where I am, and I like it a lot, and I hope I'm not going to do anything extreme. But I love to walk. I really love to walk. I used to walk. I was walking with my dog twice a day until I got the puppy. And the puppy can't walk. In fact, I tried to walk her last week before my trainer, the entrenadora, the dog trainer came and said, "No, you can't. This dog is too young to be walked." And interestingly, she said, people think they're supposed to tire their dogs out, give them a lot of exercise. She said, "They're really not. And especially this puppy." She said the puppy shouldn't be walked more than 15 or 20 minutes, which is on the high end of what I'm able to do with this puppy at this time. But there is a wonderful park that I've written about and that I've also posted about called Riviera, which is in town. I used to live near there, and I really loved it because I could walk every day in the Riviera with my dog. And I'm thinking about that again because I have a really nice place here, and I could just rent this place out and move somewhere else. So we'll see what. About a week ago, I noticed that people were like getting weird. They were like drifting in. They were driving their cars, drifting in and out of places. I went, "Oh, the holidays are coming, and this is a Catholic nation, and they celebrate the birth of Jesus on the 24th, the night of. That's when everybody goes to church. Blah 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 blah. That's when they celebrate. That's when they have their meals. On the 25th, it's just a holiday. I don't know. They don't do it in the United States. Everybody watches football and eats a lot. And it also was Hanukkah last week, started on the Sunday, and it's ending tomorrow, which is also the winter solstice tomorrow, which is the shortest day of the year. And the shortest day of the year means least amount of light, but also it means that Monday our days start to get longer. And boy, I really like that. I do not like it looking like midnight at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm putting on my pajamas at 6, and I'm going, "Oh, I was almost 9 o'clock. Let me get my jammies," and I go, "What? It's 6 o'clock. What are you doing, Carol?" Um, so maybe it's that people get whacked out over these holidays, and even in Mexico, they get a little whacked out. Families get together, and but it is more about a religious holiday than it is about Santa Claus. So I'm always surprised to see, like, yesterday I saw like a Santa Claus in like a little town in Cantu, and a child, a little girl dressed as like I guess Santa's daughter or something like that. I went, so it gets very Americanized. I think I'm an introvert, and I do not have any plans for the Christmas Day or Christmas Eve because I'm not really religious. I'm an introvert, and my friends, they have their families. They have, and it's been many, many years. I used to actually always go to the movies. When I lived in the United States, I would go to the movies. Or a matinee, when they used to have matinees. Can you believe that? They used to have Christmas Day matinees when I lived in New York City. But now it's just a regular day for me, and I'm very grateful for it. I'm really grateful that I don't have any pressure on me, although I did buy tamales yesterday for my neighbors. And that's a big thing. Whatever, I don't know the holiday dishes in the United States. I think we used to have roast beef or something. I'm a vegetarian for a long, long time now, so it's hard for me to remember this stuff. Um, yeah. Anyway, we'll see. My neighbors have been very nice to me since I moved in. You know, the old lady who just moved in, who's crazy, and they think I'm crazy because I basically created like sort of a little rancho, a little country in the city. I have like a lot of. I planted 2 trees this year, and they're really growing, really looking good. But I think if you're watching this, and if it's Christmas time or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate, just the solstice, or if it's just the winter blues, you're not getting enough sunlight, step outside, no matter what, whether the sun is shining or not, and take a breath. Take a breath. And I don't know if you have a lot to be grateful or not. I have a lot to be grateful for this year. I'm alive. I was talking to my Spanish teacher yesterday. He's like 35. And he said he's like a little out of it. He said, I'm usually really on top of my calendar and I've been a little out of it. And I went, And I thought, I said to him, time is different when you're in your 80s. When you're in your 30s or your 20s, hey, we get drunk or whatever you're doing, you get something, and you say, oh, it'll take all day, oh, no problem. But when you're my age and they put a meter on the plaza and you have to get a ticket to go into this shopping plaza, and then to get out you have to pay your ticket at like a little booth, a little automatic booth. You have to go drive first, you have to find the booth, drive, pay your ticket, and leave. I just stopped shopping there. I ain't got the time, honey. I ain't got the time to mess around with that. You want my money, you put somebody at the other end where I got to exit and you can take my money. There are other places to go, and that's what's been exciting for me this week. Very, very exciting for me this week.